Was geht ab, meine Freunde der aufgehenden Sonne? Herzlich willkommen aus dem schönen Portugal. Herzlich willkommen zur 4. Folge Highwan UNCOVERS. Ich bin heute hier mit Dr. Ansay und gucke mir die Facility von Bathera an. Ich mache erstmal Sicherheitscheck, gebe Ausweis ab, sage, dass ich hier bin und dann treffe ich Jack. Jack ist dafür zuständig, uns die Türen zu öffnen und zu zeigen, was die so haben. Komm mit, erstmal Sicherheit. Jack, really nice to meet you, my brother. Could you introduce yourself to the community?
My name is Jag. I'm head of production at Bathera, and basically that's in charge of cultivation and processing.
So head of production, head grower, could you say?
Correct.
You're my partner to show me the facility today?
That is correct.
Should we go and do it?
Let's get started.
Ready, let's go. Let's go. That's a big door. Damn.
It's so that we can move equipment through it, things like that. This is Steven. He's a grower here as well.
Ah, you're a grower as well. Where are you from? Are you from Portugal?
No, from Canada. Yeah.
Everybody here from Canada?
We have a few growers from Canada.
Nice.
Yeah. So me and Jake worked in the same company before for.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
We've
cool.
worked for a long time together, so Steve's my right hand. So when I'm not here, Steve's here. So if Steve's not here, I'm here. So this way we can, there's never a gap in the grow.
That's nice to move like from Canada to Portugal and still working together in the same business.
Yeah, that was the plan.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
Plan works out.
Yeah.
Do you need somebody else to work here? Can I? No? I make the hash though. I make good hash though.
Not yet.
Okay, let's move from Steve. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Okay, so Steve is not willing to make hash. I hear that. Okay, I got it.
The next room's gonna be a flower room of the same crop that we see in the polar pop.
What's the strain called?
This is called polar pop. Polar pop.
Polar pop?
Polar pop, yeah. So it's menthol times gastropop.
Gastropop type.
Gastropop number 5 times the
know
menthol.
gastropop.
Yeah, times the menthol.
Really good strain, to be honest.
Yeah, so hopefully you smell the offspring.
Damn! Bro, how big?
So we can go, we're 42 tables. Each table, if we count to the total canopy space, 352 meters square of canopy space. Just the tables, not including the perimeter, the HVACs, the fans, the height. We're doing about 52 plants per table.
So every rack is movable, of course, to get to every plant.
The crop, exactly. So it's on rolling benches that allow for movement on both sides so that we can get inside, work on the crop, monitor the crop.
Why is it covered in like the beard nets?
Why is it covered in a beer net? Really good question. So there's a lot of pests in the industry that can really ravage a crop and really destroy a facility. So to prevent any sort of pest that starts in the roots, specifically things like root aphid, fungus gnats, things like that that would proliferate in the media and then find their way in the flower or continue without the crop, it contains it. It's a containment tactic essentially to prevent, if there is anything, from it from spreading. So it's an IPM strategy to ensure the facility is clean.
What does IPM stands for?
IPM stands for Integrated Pest Management, and what that is it's a series of cultural, mechanical, and biological methods that you use to prevent pests to infect crops. So we use biologicals by using Swirsky mites and different mites that would eat spider mites and things like that. So we're working with nature to fight the bad parts of nature.
You fight
Right?
nature with nature.
Exactly, rather than using synthetics or something like that.
Better.
So,
It's the better way to go, to be honest.
Exactly,
We like
so-
it here like that. You check, is it drain water?
so this is not drain. What this is a collection feed. We have multiple collection feeds in a room. We have different kind of sensors that measure moisture. We like to have redundant checks in the facility like this. So we have multiple leachates. We have people physically check them with pH meters. We also have leachate through the drain system. There's a sensor in every drain so as the building gets watered, all the drainage from the room gets collected, measured in volume, and then also get the pH EC on that. So we get that data, as well as we collect leachate per plant. We do pour-throughs where we add distillate water to get data. So we do multiple levels of leachate testing.
So testing, checking.
Data
Data is everything, right? Just
Exactly.
get the data. What's your EC? What's your pH?
So with rock wool, your pH, you want to keep it within that, that range of 5.8 to 6.2 kind of. That's kind of what we stay between. Usually when you can charge it a little lower, but Rockwell these days is pretty clean. So we charge around, 5.6, 5.7, 5.8. But, we keep it around there. pH, like to vary it around, but within that spectrum.
What kind of
Lights? So these are Fluence's LEDs. They're using the PhysioSpec spectrum. They have some red in them. They don't have a lot of red, but they have enough red to, have efficiency and bring out some more of the plant. Exactly. They're my favorite lights to work with. They have really good output. They really bring out good terpenes and don't really bleach the plant, where with high lighting you can start seeing photo bleaching. We don't really see that in our cultivars with these lights. So
all the vents are circulating in this way. It's just sucking the air out, right?
So these vents are uptaking it from the bottom, where there's a UV intake. Those fans are just moving. We have one fan per table, moving the air above the canopy to allow for negative movement underneath and over top, as well as if you look up, there's vents from the HVACs as well. So we have additional movement along with, the room. We have fans on top of the canopy, so you can see that little slight sway on the top of the canopy.
How many plants are, you said around 52 each rack.
Yes.
How many racks? 40 racks?
42, so this room's about 2,300 plants, roughly.
How many kg do you get from this room?
So
Wet.
Wet, we're talking like 1.1 million grams wet. So dried, we're talking like close to 180
Kilos.
180 kilos, correct.
180 kilos, 30% of that would be 60.
30% is that THC on that.
No, it's, I'm thinking about making hash out of it.
Yes.
So if I do dry ziff, would be 30%. If I hit it, after that, maybe we have 10% return. We can make some hash out of it, or we wash it. But then it's a 5 to 8% return. It could be, if it's the right genetic.
And this genetic is the right genetic. We're in week 4 and we already have crazy trichome density everywhere. Very resinous, probably the most resinous crop we have. And the THC percentage on this crop on the lower end is about 26.8, on the higher end 32. So it really hits a pretty solid THC number.
We are coming to the end.
Yes, finally.
Finally.
So this is table 40 and then 41 and 42.
Is it 100 meters?
I believe at least, yeah. So we have 2 HVAC units on each side of the room. So each unit has a bunch of mechanical filters, and then it has more filters on the inside, and that goes through heat and water exchange to allow for the perfect temperature, and essentially that loops through. Both sides have sensor loops that kind of dial in the temperature according to the chillers outside, and then that really lets us keep the temperatures really tight.
Yeah.
And, we find HVAC's kind of the most important thing in medical cannabis, because when lights are not present and your HVACs are off, if you have the ability to choose, the HVACs are kind of going to do more of reducing the microbial load. Mold is going to happen in no time with the HVACs off. So
instantly, yeah, right.
Yeah, so this is trellis netting. Some of the cultivars don't really have the thickest branches. This one specifically, and in order to really, we grow the plant for the flower more than anything. So to make that work, we have to really trellis her down. And we have 3 trellises set for each set of trellis, like the tertiaries, the secondaries, and then the mains. Each is hit by a different level of trellis. It needs a lot of support.
Yeah, it needs a lot of support.
Yeah, so we try to cut our nets ahead of time, keep them sanitized, and then sanitize them before use again. And we do a double zip tie method. Really lets us adjust the height.
That's smart though.
A crop always grows, and you have to make adjustments to the growth. So if anything happens later in the crop, I can move this up as these start to sway, right? So I can make those adjustments. She's getting there.
Heavy though.
She's getting there.
Still heavy.
Yeah, and she still has a way to go. So instead of putting another trellis, we can easily move it up.
Let's go. It's a long way to go.
So we're entering module 3. We have a polar pop crop that's entered flower, and it's getting its veg prune, essentially. Yeah, this is essentially the crop before the veg prune. This is after the veg prune. What we're doing is essentially removing all the oldest growth off the main meristem. If you follow the main meristem, all this old growth is the oldest growth on the plant. We get rid of that, And what we do is kind of decore the plant, remove material that's moving inwards, and kind of allow these lateral branches to get light on their side nodes to create tertiary branches and kind of fill out the canopy. We do this during the initiation of flower to kind of initiate stretch as well. So that way you get that stretch and also the plants stretch where they need to kind of create the canopy you're looking for.
It's the same light as...
Same light as before, the intensity is just a little lower right now that we just entered flower. We're about half the light intensity of that last room.
It's a little hypnotizing, to be honest.
Especially when you look at it going that way. It's never ending. I stare at it for hours sometimes.
How many of that kind of room do you have?
These we have 5, and then we have a mother room, same size, same lights. So the mother room, we just keep our material where we take cuttings from, and we have 5 production rooms. So as you can see, this just entered flower. It was transplanted as a cutting into this block, and it ends its cycle in this room. It starts in prop, but all of its vegetation flowering up until harvest is gonna happen here in this spot, and it won't move from there. It starts here, it ends here. And that's with like about a 10% leachate, 10-15% leachate. At this stage, once we get the prune done, we want to kind of slow that irrigation down to kind of have the node stack, a root build, because when we do one transplant and when you enter flower, you really want to have that rhizosphere to really uptake all those nutrients. And how we do that is with a little bit of pushing the roots by controlled dryback. That dryback in these stages will create those roots to then feed the plant in the flowering stage.
Is it all based on science, your knowledge, or is it black market also?
So I wouldn't call it black market. I like to call it traditional knowledge in a sense. This is knowledge that's passed through by trial and error. So there's a lot of things that in cannabis science that haven't been studied. Cannabis science is a new science, and cannabis horticulture has differences than others. So I would say it's a blend of traditional techniques of pruning and that don't adhere to current horticultural pruning standards. Not all this has been studied properly, right? Like if you look at a crop, 70% of the photosynthesis happens in 30% of the apical area. A lot of people believe pruning is detrimental to a crop because of photosynthesis, overall loss. But we gotta remember that this does most of the photosynthesis, the top part of the canopy. And down here, it actually ends up being a sink where it costs you carbon. And yeah, so what we gotta do is essentially remove anything that's costing us and take care of what's more efficient to come up with the best flower.
You have to be a freak.
You have to be a freak, that's correct.
Still impressive how big it is, to be honest.
All right, now let's go check some dried flower that's being hung.
Let's go. Check some dry flowers.
So we have 4 dry rooms right now. Okay. Each one of them has about 50 kilos of product in it. Dry. Currently it's being dried right now. Yesterday was harvest, so we can check one of these out. Yeah, it's still wet, so it's still holding a lot of the weight.
You're gonna smell the...
Yes, you're definitely gonna smell a lot of the terpenes right now.
We're gonna go and see the technical room?
That is correct. So we have 3 tanks outside that have our storage. We have 3 different tanks of storage.
Exposed to the sun? Doesn't matter?
So it's underground, right? So it helps regulate temperature really well.
Okay.
It's lined, but what happens is that the 5,000 liter tank inside is supplied by that. So it's a constant loop. So it gets pumped to this room and then mixed from here onwards. So these are just extra generators in case the power goes out, we keep running.
Does it happen?
Power outages sometimes happen, but this keeps everything going. So yes, we do have solar panels, that supply a lot of electricity to our facility. So there's a whole field over there with solar panels.
So sometimes the power goes off?
Yeah, so it's like a power switch, right? Like you might have like a breaker go and like a little. If the power goes out for like half a second, something like that can mess the system up. This
Wow.
keeps things stable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Technical room? That's all electric.
Electrical panels. These are the modules for the air chillers outside. You can see the plumbing from the hot water, cold water. Over here we have our irrigation side of the system. So we start with an RO system. The RO system essentially takes our municipal water. So we start with municipal water, and then we treat it through reverse osmosis, which fills the tank outside.
Okay.
So from there,
So regular water comes in here.
like tap water, yep.
Tap water gets.
Then we filter RO. So essentially the EC is 0 on the way out. So we removed all impurities, all salts, all.
So it's a water with 0, and then you put your own
Exactly.
minerals in.
That water is then used to make our feed. So we have stock A, stock B. Those are injected through a Unimix system. And there's other channels on the Unimix system, like our ECA unit, which is, it creates hypochlorous acid via electrolysis, and we can inject small ppms of chlorine through our feed that don't affect the plants, but keep the rock wool sterile so that there's no microbial load. This helps us keep our plants clean, safe for the patients. And how we do that is by injecting the ECA. So we generate that on site in a 1,000-liter tank, and depending on the recipe for crop, we will inject that. Certain cultivars can only take a certain ppm, so that's something that we work on and trying to find out what can take how much.
Yeah.
And try to keep the pipes clean at all times by injecting chlorine at all times. We have over 18 recipes depending on the cultivar stage.
Really?
Yeah. So,
18?
yeah, so like it can depend by cultivar, so, and it's already preset, so all we really got to do is adjust the periods depending on what stage of growth the crop it has. Now, there's still the adjustments that need to be made on a batch to batch basis, which we have more recipes for that we can custom made for that time and set it, rather than just injecting random values. These are the stock tanks, so inside here you have the stock.
But is that fertilizer?
Yeah, so this is your calcium, your nitrogen, plus all your micronutrients, your iron, and certain cobalt, your molybdenum, all those small micros, along with the B, which has the rest of it, which is phosphorus. And
It's just some types of that for the recipe is needed.
exactly, it's how to optimize, right? You can get away with using something simple, but trying to figure out where you can make those differences to grow the best crop, a lot of it has to do with nutrients.
You need a lot of science tech inside of that kind of a facility.
Yeah, it's there's no room for error, so yeah, you definitely have to, for sure.
So Jack, thank you very much.
Of course.
Having me here, for showing me the facility, for showing the community backstage of the work.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it, friends. Ihr wisst ganz genau, Highwan UNCOVERS. Ich küsse eure Herzen. Falls euch die Folge gefallen hat, lasst einen Kommentar da. Fragt doch mal Jack, welche Frage ihr fragen würdet, wenn ihr hier wärt. Ansonsten, wir sehen uns bei der nächsten Folge, wenn es wieder heißt Highwan UNCOVERS.